Tensions running high as Election Day draws near. The NYPD will have strategic response officers across the city. Aviation units will also have a bird's eye view of troubled spots in the event that protests get out of hand.
Yeah, anti-Trump protesters clashed with officers yesterday in Chelsea. Nearly a dozen of them ended up in jail. Among them, an organizer with the Black Lives Matter movement, Hawk Newsome, who joins us this morning along with Hawk Newsome. Thank you both for being with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hawk, first of all, let me talk to you. What happened yesterday?
Well, you have to understand, when people talk about a Donald Trump rally and Trump supporters coming through your town, it triggers me. It makes me think about cross-burning KKK members, right? These are white supremacists. We know it. The president didn't disavow white supremacists. So we went down to counter-protest. And what it appeared to me was that the NYPD was making a concerted effort to protect white supremacists. So they ordered us out of the street. We moved out of the street. Now they were coming on the sidewalk with bikes, pushing people out of off the sidewalk, screaming, "Move, move, move." And I just felt like, as an American, as a man from the Bronx, I just wasn't going to allow somebody to push me with a bike and tell me to move when it wasn't a legal order. So I told the person, you know, don't touch me, don't touch me. And he touched me, and I might have said, don't effing touch me. And they said, that's it, you're going to jail. Even though I was moving, I was still actually moving. I was just saying, don't touch me. So it was completely
But there was
bogus.
no physical altercation there? I mean, you didn't do anything physical? It was just a verbal, don't touch me?
I may or may not have. There's pending litigation, so I don't know how far I could go into it. But you know, I wouldn't hurt anybody who wasn't seriously trying to hurt me.
Yeah, and
if anything, if somebody had their hand on me, I would tell you, I would move their hand from me. If that's what could have happened, possibly, but I wouldn't hurt anybody that wasn't seriously trying to hurt me.
And from what I understand, that caravan of cars actually never made its way into New York City. They went elsewhere, right? They went to the Mario Cuomo Bridge. They were seen in New Jersey. 11 people in your group charged with obstructing governmental administration and disorderly conduct. But I want to focus on what exactly happened in terms of people recording. Did anybody notice that perhaps the NYPD had their body cameras on, or were they covered at some point?
What you should really understand is, and what should send a shiver up your spine, is there were people who had press badges arrested. You know,
well, the NYPD did respond to that, sir. Not to interrupt you, but the NYPD did say they haven't responded to our request for comment on the actual incident, but they did send out a tweet yesterday saying that there were no members of the press that had valid press passes that were taken into custody. They sent it out on a tweet last night.
So I just want to lay this down to you, because I do a great job at reading through the NYPD's BS. They actually had time to run press credentials while they were slamming these people down in the street, or did they find that out later? I'm certain that some of them had press credentials from other states. I know that 2 of them had press credentials from other states, but I'm sure that was just a way for them to cover up their brutal behavior. Like, let's face it, these folks were trying to protect Donald Trump supporters. They believed they were coming. We believed they were coming. And the NYPD's union actually endorsed Donald Trump. And then to top it all off, while I was sitting in my jail cell, they sent a counter-terrorism officer to my jail cell to question me. You know what it's like to be questioned by counterterrorism officers when you are a law school graduate, someone who's a high school dropout that now holds a doctorate degree, when you have a mother and a family and all you do is empower and uplift the children and people of your community? They're treating me like a terrorist.
Siobhan, I want to bring you in here because I see you reacting to this. Were you a part of that? And you know, as a member of the Black Lives Movement, can you do this peacefully when you have a lot coming at you at all sides? How do you maintain that peace and order?
First, we do have order. Now, I don't agree with peace. A chant that we use all the time is no justice, no peace. I don't understand what government administrations, what media, what anyone wants when people are taking to the streets to protect our lives. We are literally fighting for our lives. I was not at this event, but luckily from the photographers, people with press passes, our social media community who reached out to me. And we're lucky to have the infrastructure as an organization. We have protocols when Hawk is repeatedly targeted and arrested, but not so many other people have that. The new marchers who came out to galvanize since the murder of George Floyd, they don't understand how the NYPD targets them, how they arrest them, and how they set them up for future arrest. And honestly, just to piggyback off what Hawk was saying, this seems like another Trump trap. I find it very troublesome that the NYPD and law enforcement is buckling down on protesters 2 days before the election. If you look at the media coverage all throughout, you see them scaring Americans, scaring business owners, telling them to board up their windows, telling them to stay inside. This is not democracy, and this is one of the main reasons why we are constantly on the ground to remind people that we are exercising our constitutional rights. We are assembling freedom of press. What happened to freedom of speech? This is not the second time that Hawk has been arrested for raising his voice, and the NYPD releases a bullcrap, an idiotic press release to say something that he was yelling, oh, he was doing it. This is targeted and this is harassment. What about when they ride past us in our cars and they see us on the street and they yell profanities and they invite us to fight? This is law and order. This is nothing but a Trump trap to show Americans that Hawk's face has been all over national and international news. Oh my gosh, Democratic cities are overrun by thugs. No, not by brilliant legal minds, former financial advisors, forensic accountants, and educators. But I guess it wouldn't sell a newspaper if they actually told the truth, and we would move away from fascism.
Shavonna and Hawk, appreciate your voice this morning and your time for explaining your side of what exactly unfolded there. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
And we did reach out.
Vote.
There you go. That's true. And we did reach out to the NYPD for comment, waiting to hear back from